As we get closer and closer to the 30th anniversary of Pokemon, the 25th anniversary set Celebrations has steadily been going up in value. When looking at a lot of the singles, we've seen steady growth up until recently where a lot of cards have started spiking in value. When we take a look over at the sealed product, we're seeing some of these products go up exponentially. The ETBs, the UPC, they're up a lot compared to some of the other products and some of the other sets from that era. So let's start there with the sealed product. The Celebrations booster packs are going for about $18 right now. Pretty insane price jump because a year ago they were about $7. These are tiny packs as well. There's only 4 cards in one of these booster packs, and then one of those cards has a chance to being a classic collection hit, which is where the value realistically is. You've got the ETB that has climbed up a lot as well. The lowest it's been over the last year was $75, and today they're going for about $230. Pretty insane price growth. I expected these to be hitting about $250 during the 30th anniversary, not a year before. It'll be interesting to see where these level out. I feel like they're going to hit 250 and maybe chill for a bit, but it seems right now they're just going up with no signs of slowing down. The PC ETB, the same situation. A year ago, you could grab this for $100. Now they're about $323. No signs of slowing down. I feel like this is going to be a $350 to $400 box by the end of the year. We've got the Charizard V box. There's also the Dark Sylveon box. They're going for about the same price. I think it's like a $3 or $4 difference. We're just going to talk about the Charizard box because it is the slightly more popular version. Again, a year ago these were $36. Now they're $72. There are multiple versions of this box depending on when it was printed or when it was packed. There are versions with like Darkness Ablaze through to Chilling Rain packs, but there are also some versions of this box with Fusion Strike and Evolving Skies. So when you're picking these up, maybe keep an eye out. I feel like there's going to be pretty drastic price differences depending on what those 2 extra packs are. Obviously, if you're getting that Fusion Strike Evolving Skies version, I'd expect to be paying more than if it was like Darkness Ablaze and Chilling Rain. I'd also be weary buying this online where it's just like a stock photo because you might get worse packs than you're expecting. It's probably a better product to buy in person. And the next product's kind of the reason I realized Celebrations was going up like crazy this last couple of weeks. The Lunchbox, the collector's chest. I was looking through product I was ready to kind of start parting ways with, start offloading so I could get more Scarlet and Violet stuff. I have a few of these, so I looked them up. Looks like they're going to keep going up though, $80 right now. Seems to be chilling a little bit, but this is a really good product. There's 6 Celebrations packs in there. When you're looking just at the Celebrations pack value, that's more than what this product is going for. So this might be a really good one to be picking up. 6 packs, 2 regular packs, 3 promo cards of a Delta species Mimikyu, Light Toxtricity, and Hydreigon C. So pretty good promos in here as well. I feel like this is one of those products that's a little bit undervalued. Same with this premium figure collection. Right now they're going for about $105, but a year ago they were about $60. I can only show you the 3-month graph because TCG Player is glitching out. When I click 1 year, it shows its current value is $0. So is what it is. We're looking at the 3-month graph, but trust me, a year ago, you can look it up on TCG Player, about $63. You're getting 8 Celebrations packs in here. So again, like your pack value, if you're looking at the TCG Player price for Celebrations packs, that should be about $140. The box is only $105. That Gigantamax Pikachu promo card is about a $7 promo right there. There are also 3 packs in there. The other Pikachu V promo and the statue. Like, this is a really good box. It's definitely kind of a pain in the ass if you're trying to ship it or something like that. It's one to pick up in person. I wouldn't really be selling this on eBay, but a cool product. Takes up a lot of space, but a good one to be opening up if you wanted to rip open some Celebrations. And the big product, the UPC. This thing dropped and was very difficult to get. I know here in Canada, pretty much every store that ended up getting them, a lot of stores didn't get any. Some stores got like 1, 2, maybe 4 of them, but they were putting the value at about $400 to $450. It was really difficult to find a good deal on this guy. And over the last few years, basically up until the start of this year, this product was steady at about $300 to $350 USD. But basically since the beginning of 2025, this product has been slowly going up in value. Right now it's $600. Pretty massive price increase, but this is the premium product, the ultra premium product from Celebrations. You're getting 16 Celebrations packs, 8 regular packs, the metal cards of Charizard and Pikachu, the gold promos of Pikachu and the Pokeball. You're getting like a pin, sleeves, all sorts of cool stuff in here. Really awesome product. Not necessarily one I would decide to open up at this price, but very cool. Definitely one that I think is going to keep going up. I could see this box being like $1,000 one day. Maybe not next year during the 30th anniversary, but this product I think is safe. I don't really see it getting cheaper. It was a very short printed product compared to most. Like, look at the Mew UPC or the Charizard UPC. This was printed just a fraction of the amount of those two boxes, and they're both performing really good as well. Now, on to some of the singles. One key card I want to talk about here is the Mew Hyper Rare from the regular part of the set, not the Classic Collection. I think there's a lot of good things going for this card. It's a shiny Mew. We've seen a lot of respect put on Mew over that Bubble Mew card. It's shiny, just like the Bubble Mew. I think that gives it really good potential. It's also got the Celebrations 25 stamp. I know every Celebrations card has this, but stamped cards seem to be getting more popularity lately as well. I think that's another thing going for it. And being a difficult card to pull a hyper rare, the only hyper rare in this set, I feel like this card has a lot of potential for growth. Right now going for about $35. It's 1 year low of about 17. I still think at $35 this is a great card to pick up. I'd be happy to grab a few more copies of it for my collection, and I do think long term it's a really good card to be holding on to. A card that has seen a ton of movement lately. It's like all the talk at a lot of these card shows I've been going to. The Pikachu like full art, I guess it's the extended artwork from the base set card. Really cool card, but this was so easy to pull. Like, maybe you'd open that Charizard box, let's say for example 4 Celebrations packs, you might pull 4 of this Pikachu card in there, and that's the reason it was like 25 to 50 cents for the longest time. Right now though, $5, and that's because the PSA 10 price on this card is about $600. I think a lot of people are buying this I know a lot of people are buying up a ton of copies of these, just trying to find a real minty one to send to PSA, but that is a lot easier said than done. I have about 40 to 50 copies of this card that I've accumulated over the years. Whether they're ones I pulled myself and put straight into sleeves or like picked up in trades or whatever, these cards were just notorious for being bad condition. Tons of them have print lines, they're off-centered, they've got damaged corners, edge wear, right out of the pack. There's a reason the PSA 9 is like $20 and the 10 is $600. It's very hard to find a good copy, and like I said, I have about 50 of these in my collection. I don't know if any of those would even contend as a PSA 9. 2 other cheap guys I've seen movement on, the Flying Pikachu and the Surfing Pikachu. The Flying Pikachu was $1 a year ago. Right now, it seems to be steadily going up at about $5. I think this is a cool card. A lot of people are going to want this in their collection if they didn't collect Celebrations. I don't know what the ceiling would be on a card like this. Maybe $10, $12. I don't think this will ever be $15. But if you can find copies under $5, I feel like it'd be worth grabbing a few. Pretty much the exact same thing with Surfing Pikachu. About $1 a year ago, right now $4, steadily going up. Looks like it'll hit $5 soon. Pikachu cards are always good. They're always going to have popularity down the line. And these being the Gigantamax Pikachus, kind of cute little goofy cards. Not the most difficult pulls by any means, but cool little novelty cards I think a lot of people would be happy to have in their collection and happy to spend up to $10 on in the future, especially if they weren't around for the release of Celebrations. All right, now we're going to zoom through the Classic Collection. We've got the base set Charizard. This card has not seen much growth this year, but a year ago, $70. Start of 2025, it was about $95, and right now, it's $100. It's been bouncing back and forth between 90 and 100 all year. I do feel like it's going to see some growth next year, but there are so many different reprints of this Charizard card. I think more people are interested in the ones without the stamp right now. With all the popularity on vintage as well, I think more people are inclined to spend, an extra couple $100 and get like a PSA 6 base set unlimited Charizard rather than this Celebrations copy at $100. That being said though, I think with the 30th anniversary, this card will see a little bit of growth, maybe go up to like $150, but I would not expect this to spike up much more than that, to be honest. Cards I do expect to go up a higher percentage would be the Blastoise and the Venusaur. The Blastoise to start off right now is about $9. A year ago was about $5. I feel like this card should be like $30. I don't really get how it's so much cheaper than the Charizard. I feel like you'd want all three of them. If you have one, why not get all of them? $9 on the Blastoise, I think that's criminally undervalued. I feel like this card is going to go up. Doesn't seem to show any signs of that yet, but it doesn't mean it won't happen. Same with the Venusaur, $7 right now. Its 1 year high was 8. Its low was about 4. I think this will be similar to Blastoise, but cheaper because it's not as popular. Blastoise, like I said, maybe $30. I think that'd be a good price on it. I could see it going for more eventually. I think Venusaur will be like 10, 15, maybe 20% cheaper than that. I feel like $25 would be a fair price on this guy. It's obviously a bit easier to pull than the Charizard and not as popular as the Charizard, but $7 is very cheap for a Venusaur base set reprint card. A card that's doing a lot better and showing consistent growth is the Birthday Pikachu. I think this is an amazing card. I could see this card eventually being a $50 card. Give it a few years though. It was as cheap as $6 and it's just been steadily going up all year. $19 right now. Like I said, I think next year in the 30th anniversary, this one's going to see some more growth. It'd be really cool to see like an illustration rare variant of this, similar to like what we saw with that Pikachu earlier, the full art variant of the base set card. It'd be cool to see like a full art Birthday Pikachu or even a reimagined artwork of this card to celebrate the 30th anniversary. If something like that happened, I'm sure this one would go up even more. You've got the Reshiram and Zekrom that have seen a lot of growth due to the black and white set announcement, and the Reshiram especially with that other Reshiram card coming out in Journey Together. Reshiram, about $3 a year ago. Since the beginning of the year, it's just been going up like crazy. Right now, $15. I feel like it's kind of settled down for the time being. A lot of people are more excited about the black and white rares, the BWRs. I feel like that's gonna have people wanting this card as well, but I'd way rather that card. I think when that card gets a little cheaper or more of it gets on the market at least, I'd be interested in picking that up compared to having a couple copies of this. Same thing with the Zekrom, about $3 a year ago. Right now, $17. I feel like both of these will chill between $20 and $25 going into the 30th anniversary. Maybe see a little bit more growth as well throughout next year. The Umbreon Gold Star, I think, has a ton of potential. Of course, it's seen a lot of like craziness over the year. With the release of Prismatic Evolutions, it bounced all the way up to $55, went back down to around $35, spiked up again at the beginning of July to $73, and is now going for about $62. Just like the Gold Mew I talked about earlier, I feel like there's really good potential for this card. Like, it's an Umbreon, super popular Pokemon, but it's also a Gold Star, a shiny Umbreon. I think it's going to do really, really good. It's got the cool little celebration stamp on it. It's a reprint of a very popular card that was very hard to get. Gold Stars are super popular. Vintage stuff is super popular. Umbreon's popular. Stamped cards are popular. Shiny Umbreon, like that's even better. I think this card is going to be really good. I feel like eventually it's going to be up there again with the Charizard at $100. Definitely one worth having in your collection. Another one that's going up, Mega Rayquaza. This one's $39 right now and is really not showing any signs of slowing down. Of course, with all the hype of the Mega Evolution sets coming out, and like obviously they're going to have to do a Mega Rayquaza set at some point. I think it's got to be the most popular Mega from the XY era. That shiny full art from Ancient Origins is just a beautiful card. So of course, as more hype gets put on the new Mega sets, this card's going to get more and more popularity. I sent in a couple to PSA recently. I really hope one of them comes back a PSA 10. I'd love to have that in my collection. Shining Magikarp is also a really good card. I think this card's amazing. It's an iconic card. It was the first Shining Pokemon they did, and I think the first shiny Pokemon at all in the TCG. Very iconic card, a card that started a super popular trend that is still seen today in the TCG. A year ago, about $8, $9, you could pick it up no problem. Now it's going for about $25. It did see a massive spike at the end of January where it hit about $27. Backed off a little, but it's pretty much back there. Right now, it's one of the top cards in this set, but I think long term it's going to stay consistent and be in the top of the singles. I wouldn't be surprised if this one jumps up towards $50 sometime over the next year or two. I do want to touch on the Gardevoir EX. This is a Delta Species card. It's been steadily going up throughout the whole year. It was about $2 last year. Right now, $5 and seems to be continuing to go up. This might be one of those cheap sleeper cards that ends up going up to $10. I feel like Delta species cards are pretty popular right now, so you can't really go wrong picking this guy up. A few other cards I want to quickly highlight before I get out of here. You've got the Dark Gyarados. It's only $2.50. I don't know how this card isn't $5. I think if you can pick these up for $2 or $3, why not? It's going to do great long term. I wouldn't be surprised to see this hit $5 to $10 during the 30th anniversary. Exact same thing for Rocket Zapdos. I can't believe this card didn't jump up to $5 with the release of Destined Rivals. It is a pretty easy pull, just like Dark Gyarados. Both those cards were very easy pulls when looking at the Classic Collection, but this card was like 60 cents, 50 cents. Now it's going for $1.50 with its high of about $2.50. I feel like this should be a $5 card. It looks really nice. Obviously, not going to break the bank. Again, not going to be like a $50 card ever, but I wouldn't be surprised to see this one at least triple in price at some point in the future. You've also got the Mewtwo EX, which has jumped from about $4 to $8. Pretty solid card. There's a lot of Mewtwo hype right now, and I feel like some of these older EX cards, of course this is a new card, but a reprint of one of the original EX cards. It's really nice, and I wouldn't be surprised to see this card jumping up to $15. And the exact same thing with the Mew EX, originally printed in Legend Maker. This is one of the first like EX cards from that original EX era. Same thing as Mewtwo, was about $3 right now. It's $7.50. It's been all the way up to $9 though. And the same way I started the singles portion of this video, Mew has become a very popular Pokemon. It's always been popular, but there are a lot of people collecting Mew cards. I feel like going into the 30th anniversary, I wouldn't be surprised to see this card going for around $15. Alright guys, so that's pretty much it for today's video. I do want to say, if you opened up Celebrations when it first came out like I did, you probably have a ton of these cards sitting around if you didn't sell them yet. I've been holding on to them. I think a lot of us have been holding on to them for the 30th anniversary. And if you're sitting on any copies of like any of these cards, the upper level, like $5 or more cards, I'd consider sending some of them into PSA. If you have any really clean copies, it'd be worth grading them. If you think you can get the PSA 10, definitely worth it, especially for cards like Charizard, Blastoise, Venusaur, the Umbreon, the Rayquaza, stuff like that, the Shining Magikarp. Definitely really good cards, lots of potential there. And that's something I'm doing. I have a good handful of Celebrations cards at PSA and a couple more I'm hoping to send out in the next week or two. And definitely take a look through all those Pikachus. If you have one that you think is a PSA 10, man, it might be worth taking a shot, trying to get that 10. The return on that card is absolutely insane, from $5 to $600. Like, it'd be worth risking it if you think you have one or two of them that could pull the 10, but like I said, it's going to be really, really tricky to find a minty copy of that card. Alright guys, that's going to be it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace!